Hope my voice is audible and the PPT is clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So yesterday we discussed the regular falsy method or the method of false position. Today we will discuss another important method for solving the algebraic as well as the transcendental equations. So today we have the iteration method, which is also known as successive approximations. So the title is very clear, iteration. That is, we are doing the repeated steps to solve the equation. To be clear into that one, in the previous methods, we have identified the interval in which the root f of x is equal to 0 lies. Uh, we discussed the methods which require one or more starting values of x, which need not be necessarily enclose the root of f of x is equal to 0. The iteration method is one such method which requires one starting value of x. So we need some initial value for iteration method also. We can use this method only if we can express f of x is equal to 0 as x is equal to pi of x. We can express f of x is equal to 0 in the above form in more than one way also. For example, the equation x cube plus x square minus 1 equal to 0 can be expressed in the following ways. By taking the x as a common factor, we can convert the equation into a new form. Similarly, these one so this is one way of rearranging the equation, the other way of rearranging the equation, and the third way, and so on. So let x0 be an approximation, that's the initial value to get the desired root theta, which we can find graphically or otherwise. Substituting x0 in the right hand side of 1, this is the one first equation, we get the approximation as x1 is equal to phi of x0. So by the successive approximations are given by s2 is equal to phi of x1, x3 is equal to phi of x2. Similarly, xn is equal to phi of xn minus 1 because is in the decreasing way. 2 means 1. So n minus 1. One important thing to note is that the sequence of approximations x0, x1, x2, xn is given by the third equation converges to the root theta in an interval I only if phi dash of x, its modulus value regardless of the sign plus or minus, should be less than 1 for all x in I. So this is about theory, which will be very clear when you do a problem. Straightly into the problem. Using the method of iteration, find a positive root between 0 and 1 of the equation x into e power x is equal to 1. So this is the equation to solve. So first we need to convert it into a desirable form. So we are converting, we are taking x to the RHS. So the given equation can be written as x is equal to e raised to minus x. So we have the function as phi s is equal to e raised to minus x. When you this will be is equal to 1 by e power x. So when x is 1, 1 by e will be lesser than 1. So the um, this condition is satisfied, and we can now use the iterative method. First assumption is we are putting x0 is equal to 1, and so when you put x0, you're getting the first value, and x1 is equal to e raised to minus 1 is equal to 1 by e is 0.3678. Then again you will use this new x1 value, and x2 is equal to e raised to minus 0.367. So this will keep on iterating till you get a converging value. There is a very close value between two nearer approximations. So for this problem, when you continue with x1, x2, x3, x4, you will reach at a point or at a value of x is equal to 0.5671 as the solution. One more problem. Find the root of the equation 2x is equal to cos x plus 3. Correct to the 3 decimal places using iteration method. So we have the equation. After rearranging, we have taking 2 to the RHS, x is equal to cos x plus 3 all divided by 2, the rearranged form of the equation. Then the derivative of this one, cos x means sin x, 3 becomes 0. So sin x by 2 is the derivative, and when you put the value, it will be less than 1. So the iteration method can be applied for solving the main equation. Hence iteration can be applied, and first you are assuming the initial value as x is equal to pi by 2. So x1 is equal to same equation, half into cos x is replaced by pi by 2 plus 3, will get 1.5. Then this will be the new value to apply. So x2 is equal to half into cos 1 plus 5 plus 3, it is 1.535. The procedure is repeated. So for x3 new value, the x value will be 1.535. The procedure is repeated so that at the x7 and x8 you got a very nearer value 523 and 524. So it is very near to the even 1.524 is coming for x6, 1.523, 1.524. So the values are not changing at all. So we can stop the iteration, and the required root is x is equal to 1.524. So the last problem, uh, it is to find the real root of 2x minus log to the power 10 x log to the base 10 is equal to 7 by the iteration method. So we have the equation rearranged in the form x is equal to half into log x to the base 10 plus 7. We are assuming a value, trial value of 3.8, and so this is actually how you get 3.8 is by randomly putting some value, provided this will satisfy the equation. Then that's called the iteration method. Then we have the x1. When you apply the value of 3.8 to the x1 is equal to half into log to the base 10. 3.8 plus 7 will give you 3.79, and x2 is equal to, so this will be the new value 3.79. Applying s2 is equal to half into log to the log to the base 10, 3.79 plus 7 will give you 3.7893. So the x2 and x3 values are more or less same. So we are converging the iteration with this x3, and the root of this equation is reported as x is equal to 7.3893. So this is about the iteration method. So for this module 5, we have the solution of transitional equation by different methods, like the iteration method or successive approximation, which we have studied today. Then we learned already the regular falsy method, and in the coming classes we will learn the Lagrange interpolation method, as well as as well as we have one more method for the next class. It will be the Newton-Raphson method. So any doubts for today's class? We'll wind up today.